Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to continue talking about studying techniques. Okay, if you see here we have new tips: condensing, memory maps, practice questions and essays, visualization association, flashcards, pretend to teach someone, and of course, the Pomodoro technique. Okay, let's continue. Now, we're going to be listening to some people. What are they discussing? If you want, you can follow along in your book on page 14, exercise 2A.
Page 14. Exercise 2. Language in context. Improving communication skills.
Mr. Phillips, I hope you've been enjoying your vacation, and I hope you haven't forgotten your English. So, what have you been doing recently to improve your English?
Luisa. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Hi, everybody. I've been reading magazines and comic books in English.
Mr. Phillips, excellent.
Jin, I've been making vocabulary flashcards. They really work. And I've been keeping a vocabulary notebook.
Marcus, I've been chatting online in English.
Mr. Phillips, fantastic. Have you been doing anything to improve your speaking?
Pedro, I have. Omar and I have been studying conversations with native speakers. We were nervous about it at first, but we've been making new friends that way.
Luisa. I've been having the best conversations of all. I've been talking to myself out loud in front of a mirror.
Marcus, very funny.
Mr. Phillips, but very helpful too. Good job, everyone. I'll see you in class on Monday.
Okay, guys, so what are they discussing? They are discussing things the students have been doing to improve their English. Okay, great. Now we're going to listen again. What studying techniques do they mention? Let's listen.
Page 14. Exercise 2. Language in context. Improving communication skills.
Mr. Phillips, I hope you've been enjoying your vacation, and I hope you haven't forgotten your English. So, what have you been doing recently to improve your English?
Luisa. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Hi, everybody. I've been reading magazines and comic books in English.
Mr. Phillips, excellent.
Jin, I've been making vocabulary flashcards. They really work. And I've been keeping a vocabulary notebook.
Marcus, I've been chatting online in English.
Mr. Phillips, fantastic. Have you been doing anything to improve your speaking?
Pedro, I have. Omar and I have been studying conversations with native speakers. We were nervous about it at first, but we've been making new friends that way.
Luisa. I've been having the best conversations of all. I've been talking to myself out loud in front of a mirror.
Marcus, very funny.
Mr. Phillips, but very helpful too. Good job, everyone. I'll see you in class on Monday.
Okay, so if you notice, the techniques that they mention are reading magazines and comic books in English, making vocabulary flashcards, keeping a vocabulary notebook, chatting online in English, having conversation with native speakers, and talking to oneself out loud in front of the mirror. Great! Now, I want you to please unscramble the questions and sentences here. For example, the first one says, what doing have recently you been? We know that we're going to start this question with what and that we're going to end it with recently. Pause our video while you organize all of this. Okay, let's go ahead and check. So first we have, what have you been doing recently? I've been reading magazines. How long has he been writing in his notebook? He's been writing in it for a month. Have they been talking to native speakers lately? Yes, they have. Great. Now, look at the questions and sentences again. What do they have in common? Are the activities finished? How do you know? If you see, they have in common that they are using present perfect. However, they are using present perfect progressive. So basically, we form it using have or has as usual. In this case, we are only going to use one verb in past participle, which is been in all of the sentences, and we are going to be using our main verb with ing, doing, reading, writing, talking. Now think about this. Are these activities finished? No, right? These activities continue until today. How do you know? Well, because they are in the progressive form and it says, what have you been doing recently? I have been reading magazines. It's an activity that, yes, it started in the past, but I continue to do it until today. And I will probably continue tomorrow. Okay, let's go ahead and see. These are differences between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous or present perfect progressive. So, for example, present perfect usually talks about finished actions, and the present perfect continuous talks about unfinished actions. For example, the kids have played for 2 hours. Basically, they finished. The kids have been playing since the morning. They started in the morning, but they continue right now, and it is 5 p.m. Permanent or temporary actions. Present perfect is permanent actions. I have taught English for 12 years. In this case, I am saying the quantity of time that has passed. Now, with temporary actions, we use present perfect continuous. I have been teaching this class for 1 hour. Okay, we can emphasize the result of the action with present perfect. He has repaired the car. We don't know how long it took or anything, but we want the result. The car is repaired. Or if we emphasize the duration of the action, we're going to use present perfect continuous. He has been repairing the car for 2 hours. You can indicate how much or many have been completed with present perfect. It has taken 6 years to write these books. And you can use present perfect continuous to indicate how long something has been happening. I have been studying English for 2 months. Okay, great. Now, look at these sentences and correct them. Let's do the first one together. Marie has been read a book for 3 hours. In here, the error is with the verb read or read, depending on if you think it's in past or in present, right? And we're going to use it in a gerund. In this case, reading. Now pause your video and work on the rest. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and check. So the first one we know is Marie has been reading a book for 3 hours. Number two, I have been teaching English for 10 years. 3. They have been playing soccer since they were kids. 4. He has been studying for his private exam for 6 months. Okay, excellent. Now, let's go to student book page 15, exercise 3A. Here, you have to complete the conversations with the present perfect continuous form of the verbs. For example, let's do conversation A. We know that the verb is do, and it is a question. So in this case, we should start with have you? Remember, we need to use the continuous form. Have you been doing anything recently to improve your vocabulary? Yes, I have. I have been keeping a vocabulary notebook. Now pause your video and work on conversations 2 and 3. Okay, great. We're going to check this during class. Let's continue practicing. Go to workbook page 10, exercise 4. Here, you're going to complete this email using the present perfect continuous. Let's start. Hi Rafa. Have you been having a good time in summer school? Which classes are you taking? I am not taking summer classes this year, but my English a lot lately. We know that we need to write I practice. Since we're using present perfect continuous, we should use I have been practicing. Very good. Now pause your video and work on the rest. Okay? Great. We're going to check this during our class, okay? We have I have been living for number 3. Now guys, I'll see you in class. Bye bye.